I was reaching for the wine when I felt him behind me. The fridge light spilled across the tile as Jake's hands settled, on my hips warm possessive like he'd been waiting all night to do this. His breath hit my neck, whiskey sweet from the party we just left. He should have been surprised. But the way his fingers dug into the silk of my dress told me he'd planned this. Moment the cold air from the fridge made me shiver. Or maybe it was his thumb slipping under the hem of my dress. Tracing slow circles just above my knee, I could feel his heartbeat through his shirt where my back pressed into him. Fast but steady, like he knew exactly what he was doing when I turned the counter edge. Bit into my back. He moved in close hands, braced on either side of me, not touching, which somehow felt worse. His eyes dropped to my mouth somewhere. Down the hall, our roommate's shower. Turned on the pipes, groaned. Jake smiled, just teeth and confidence, and leaned in. Not a kiss, a promise. His lips brushed the corner of my mouth. The wine bottle slipped from my fingers. Rolling away, near the fridge, forgotten his hands. Found my waist, calloused fingers slipped beneath the thin fabric of my dress. Skimming my ribs with unbearable patience. He nudged me backward until the kitchen table met Mithy's. The wooden edge pressed into my skin, making me aware of just how little stood between me and the cold surface. His knee parted mine with maddening ease, denim rough against my inner thigh. I reached for his belt loop. He caught my wrist, pinning it gently towed the table behind me. His other hand slid the strap of my dress down, millimeter by millimeter breath, hot against my collarbone. The shower still ran, a reminder of how little privacy we had. When his teeth grazed my shoulder, I arced into him, his soft chuckle vibrating against my skin. His free hand slid higher, bunching my dress up around my hips. The air between us crackled heavy, with unspoken questions. Outside, a car door slammed. We froze. Jake's thumb continued its slow circles at the edge of my underwear, eyes locked. He gave me a choice. We could stop or see how quiet I could really be. The shower stopped. Sudden silence made my breath catch. Footsteps padded down the hall. Our roommate was coming. Jake's breath was steady against my neck, his body shielding me from view. The edible creaked under our weight. His fingers dipped lower just as the faucet turned on, water rushing into a glass, covering the sharp sound of my inhale. The cold metal of the table bit into my back. My nails found his shoulders. The faucet shut off. Footsteps retreated. Jake's mouth finally found mine, catching my sigh of relief. His touch turned bolder. The risk hadn't vanished. It just made everything more electric when the bedroom door clicked shut. Jake's restraint snapped. The kitchen became its own world. He lifted me onto the table with sudden urgency, sending a forgotten fork clattering to the floor. The sound barely registered. His thumbs hooked into Thales at my hips. His breath hitched when I shifted. Beneath him, moonlight painted silver stripes across his shoulders as he leaned in, his mouth trailing down my neck to the pulse beneath my ear. I bit my lip to stay silent as his fingers teased the damp lace between my thighs. Outside, a car alarm wailed. The clock on the microwave blinked 2:17 a.m. None of it mattered when his belt slid through the loops. The leather hissed like a whisper. I reached for him, but he caught my wrist, again pinning it above my head. His eyes asked the question. My answering nod was barely there. His groan was muffled against my shoulder as he slid into me. The table scraped across the tile, the sound surely carrying down the hall. We didn't care. Every thrust, every gasp brought us closer to that dizzying edge. Then the fridge motor kicked on. With a loud hum, light flooded the kitchen. We froze, caught mid-heist. The sudden brightness revealed everything. Jake's shirt hung open. Sweat-slicked skin exposed my dress, bunched at my waist, wrinkled, ruined. We stared at each other, breathless, before laughter bubbled up. Silent and shaking, he pressed his forehead to mine, stifling the sound. He raked behind me for a dish towel, dabbing at the wine we'd knocked over. The red stain bloomed on the wood, like abstract art, a mark we couldn't unmake. I watched his fingers work steady. Now compared to their earlier desperation, the kitchen smelled like citrus and salt, and us a heavy blend that clung to the air. Jake's belt lay coiled near the fruit bowl. My underwear was nowhere to be found. He handed me a water glass, his thumb brushing mine the cold, shocked my system when I looked up. He was still watching me hungry, but softer now by the time we gathered our things. Dawn tinted the windows pink. My legs trembled stepping down, but Jake's arms lit around my waist, steadying me. He kissed my temple.